Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to be showing you guys my updated list for Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. So here it is. This is the list. We've got it all in Google Drawing here. And for those of you who don't know, this is the Urshifu VMAX. Your fighting energy does 30 damage, and if you move from the bench to the active that turn, it does 121 damage. So 150 damage for one energy is very efficient, and has a second attack, 2 fighting, and then 1 colorless VMAX rapid flow. You do 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench, or no, not bench, 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's an extremely good card, and that's the card we're building around. We have a whole bunch of other cards that support it. We have 2 of the auxiliary. To once during a turn, search out a rapid strike card, put it into your hand, and then you can't use more than 1 rapid strike search ability, which is the ability name each turn. So we have a 2-2 line of that, a 3 line of Urshifu VMAX. You might notice there are actually 2 different Urshifu Vs. We have the regular one from the set, which has 1 energy, 30 damage, switch to the bench, and 2 fighting, colorless, 150, just regular. And then we have this promo one that we're getting in a promo box for 2 fighting. For 1 fighting, colorless, you do 40. And for 2 fighting, colorless, you do 90, and then 20 to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this is a nice another attacker, because bench damage is a huge part of this deck. What makes this deck so good. So yeah, excuse me. So we have a 2-2 line of auxiliary, 3 line of Urshifu VMAX, and then we have 2 Jirachi Amazing Rare with that Dreamy Revelation ability. You could top 2, put the other one back on top, and 2 of the new Manaphy, which lets you, once during your turn, you get to look at the top 6 cards of your deck, find a Pokemon, put it into your hand. So it's like Starter Wish, except you don't go to sleep, and it's the top 6 instead of 5. So very good cards. We have 2 of these really good starting Pokemon, because we have Martial Arts Dojo. So when these guys get knocked out, we can do 190 damage for a single energy. That's a 2-shot on a VMAX for a single energy. And we also, like the VMAX Rapid Flow, what you can do is you can attach Telescopic Sight, Lyric Zagoon Ping, boom, to Dene. You can Escape Rope. You can make your opponent put their active onto the bench, and then you can have Telescopic Sight. You can go like double ping on their VMAX or ping on a Dene. Maybe you already hit them for 190, and then you can go 150 to their VMAX, knock it out. 150 to Dene with a ping, that's a knockout. That's 5 prize cards. This deck is nuts what it can do. This deck is just absolutely insane. We also have a single copy of Crobat, single copy of the Dene as our draw. And we also have a single copy of Jirachi GX. That's because our Urshifu were actually weak to Psychic. And Mewtwo and Mew is in one of the best decks right now, which is Pikachu and Zekrom. And also it's just its own deck in general. So being able to take away that weakness is really nice. I wouldn't mind adding a weakness card energy, because sometimes that Jirachi just can't cut it. Like in Pikarom, they can tag bolt it. You could add a Mew, but that's just getting a little over the top. You could probably just add like a weakness card energy in addition to the Jirachi and be fine. We also have a copy of Empoleon V. Now this is a really interesting card in this deck. There's a Japanese list that it was kind of like this. They had a 2 Urshifu and 4 Empoleon, which are really trying to shut down your opponent. Because Empoleon has an ability that when it's in the active spot, your opponent's basic non-GX V Pokemon at the rule box, so that's non-GX, so that's on V, GX, Prism Star, EX, stuff like that, have no ability. So like Starter Wish doesn't work. Gormandize on Snorlax doesn't work. Jirachi Amazing Rare doesn't work. The new Manaphy, new Celebi doesn't work. So it turns off a lot of stuff, and it has an attack for water, 2 colorless. It does 130 damage, I believe, and you switch 1 energy attached to it to one of your bench Pokemon. Now you might be thinking, what? There's no water in your deck. There's only fighting. Well, then we have this double rapid strike energy, which when it's attached to rapid strike Pokemon, it provides either 2 fighting, 2 water, or 1 fighting, 1 water. So that can provide our water for Empoleon because it is a rapid strike Pokemon. So in the Sentence Course matchup, this card is very nice, because we can have it in the active spot. We can shut down all the Jirachis, and then we can hit their Sentence Course VMAX for 260, and then use GMAX Rapid Flow, Telescopic Sight, Zagoon, or something like that, and then just take 5 prize cards really easy like that. And since the energy from the attack switches to your bench, you can easily charge up that GMAX Rapid Flow right after you attack with Empoleon. So really cool card there. And then 1 Dene, I think I already said that. 4 Research, 3 Boss. Shouldn't be any surprise. We have 2 Marnie, and then we have 1 Cheryl. Cheryl is a new card, and it's very, very good in this deck. It says heal all damage from each of your evolution Pokemon in play, and then discard all energy from each evolution Pokemon that you healed in this way. So that is like really, really nice because you use UMAX Rapid Flow. I don't know if I mentioned this, but you discard all your energy. So you can like UMAX Rapid Flow, you get hit, and you can play Cheryl. You can like switch to the bench, switch back, and then boom, Gale Thrust for 150 damage upwards. Now you might notice the Wonder Slab and Prism Star in this deck. That's something I haven't seen. I think this card is actually very, very good, or at the very least, pretty like okay in some situations at the very least in this deck, because it makes the attacks of non-fairy Pokemon cost 1 colorless more. Our Gale Thrust costs 1 fighting energy, and we have a double energy. That means we can just put that Wonder Slap in play, and then attack, and make our opponent attack cost 1 more. And also, since we're taking multiple knockouts, we can make it harder for our opponent to come back with that Wondrous Labyrinth. We can GMAX Rapid Flow, take 5 prize cards, 4 or 5 prize cards, knock out their big Pokemon, and have Wondrous Labyrinth in play, and make it even harder for them to come back after that. So, really, really nice. We have one of Karina's Motivation, which just reads, draw until you have 6 cards in your hand, but it's a Rapid Strike card. You can search it out with Octillery, so that makes us stamp-proof. Once we take 4 or 5 prize cards, sometimes maybe 3, but our opponent can't stamp us to low. We can always just use Octillery, get out that Karina's Motivation, and just draw until we have 6. So that's really nice. 4 Quick Ball, 3 Communication. If you want to add a Communication, I wouldn't mind that. Because we have a couple evolutions, but what you can do is you can like Calm for Octillery, and Octillery searches out VMAX, so you don't have to get out. You don't actually have to get out 2 stage 2s. You can just get Octillery and search out that. 3 Scoop of Net. We can get some pings going with our Zigzagoons. 2 Switch. Now this might be kind of a surprise. And when I first built the deck, I played 4 Switch. But then I found that you don't need it. You have so many other Switch options. We have Scoop of Net. We have Escape Rope, and we have Air Balloon. If you want to add Malilana, you could add that too. Have even more Switch and Heal. But I found that Cheryl is just better than Malilana. But yeah, we only have 2 Switch because our other 2 Switch are going to be our Escape Ropes. Escape Rope, if you don't know, it reads you have your opponent switch one of their bench with their active, and then you switch one of your bench with your active. So you want to hit anything that isn't the active, or maybe your opponent has their Dene on their bench and their main like Centiskorch in the active. You can play that. You can put up your VMAX or something that can retreat, and then just take a turn 2 prize cards because they had to bring up their Dene because that's Pokemon on their bench. To our Balloon, we usually can attach this to like our Urshifu VMAX or just something else. Maybe even our Jirachi and Manaphy have a pivot that has a useful ability like that. We have a Telescopic Sight. As mentioned, we can like hit the Dene, we can hit a VMAX on the bench for 150. We have 1 Karate Belt. Now this is a little bit more of a niche card, but it combos well with the martial arts dojo thing you're trying to pull off. Because the Jirachi gets knocked out, you can go Karate Belt, double Rapid Strike Energy, and then boom, you have a G-Max Rapid Flow without any energy on your VMAX to begin with. And we just have the 4 double energy and the 5 fighting energy. So yeah, that's the list. This is definitely a very, very good deck. I expect this to be one of the best decks, if not the best deck when Battle Styles drops. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, see you in the next one.